5.
Top 5 teams that should be ranked, in my opinion. And look, there are other teams you can take in and out of this, but I feel these teams have done enough with their resume to be ranked. Number 5, Cincinnati, only losses to Arkansas on the road. And I think if they get a win this week, they will be. But I think they've proven that they're good enough to be ranked, and they'll probably roll through and start making some waves in the American here soon. But I do think Cincinnati should be ranked, although they were 5th. So they're the ones I feel the least bad about.
Okay, my only thing with this is, like, it would almost need to be a full-blown segment if we were doing it properly, because who are they replacing? Because then that's the question is, if you want to put them in, that's fine, and I'm with you. But who are you taking out that you're putting them in there? You know what I'm saying? But
well, we have rules on that. Give us the top 5, and somebody would call in.
I'll take out Pitt right now.
All right.
Okay.
I'll take out Pitt right
okay.
now.
All right.
I'll take out Pitt.
I think you take out that team from Tallahassee. Who the hell are they?
They're a bunch of bums, Free Shoes University.
And look, maybe so. Maybe they are. Of the 4-0
so
teams,
happy.
they have the.
I do think about Pitt, though. I've been very underwhelmed with Keaton Slovis overall. But, that's my only caveat is, like, because it's easy to say, like, well, 10 teams should be ranked, and then, but, like, there's not a top 35. But,
So I could amend this to say, like, top 5 teams that should be in if you can only take out one. Like, if not this one, then this one, and so on.
No, you're going to have to do that the rest of
No,
the way.
I'm not expecting you to do that. I'm just saying if we were to really sit down and do this and say who deserves it, like, you'd have to take somebody out.
It's like when somebody says, like, who's the greatest, this and that. Well, I think it's you got like 40 people.
Right. I'll amend this to make it work.
Okay.
I think I've got an idea.
You're so good at this.
Okay, number 4, this is improv. Number 4, if I'm going to take somebody out, like say I'm going to take Pitt out and I can't have Cincinnati, I'm putting Oregon State in.
Okay.
I'm putting it.
Yeah.
Still. Texas lost.
A&M lost. Yeah, no, you're right. Texas, okay.
Yeah. And look, I would take A&M completely out of this poll had they not just beaten 2 ranked teams when they were playing them, because I still don't think they should be really in it based on what they've done so far. But Oregon State, I think, deserves to be in because they just lost to USC and had that game almost won.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but I can't get over the 4 interceptions. I mean, I can't get behind top 25 momentum when your quarterback's throwing 4 picks in a game you lose by a field goal. That's brutal, man. But yeah, the Beavers have been a great story so far this year, and that would have been one heck of a win for them against the Trojans, and we'd be talking about them everybody would be talking about them far heavier had they won that game. But the problem is nobody barely got to see it or knew where to find it. And by the time they did, they realized, like, I got to sign up for a new cable deal to get Pac-12 network, and that was just a mess.
There's certainly, like, Brett McMurphy gained a bunch of Twitter followers because he was giving play-by-play updates on Twitter.
I have DirecTV, which will never have the Pac-12 network.
Hey, let me ask you this. Oregon State lost, right?
Yeah.
And they undefeated before that?
Yeah.
They lost to who? The number 6 team in the country?
Yeah.
How come they didn't move into the top 25?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Look, I would even sacrifice Florida State for that right now.
All right.
No. Number 3, Wazzu also just lost, but based on the Texas rules, you could put Washington State in this thing as well.
Yeah, boy, that's another team that seemed like they had on the verge of, like, big-time win.
Yeah, no, they're a bit too Cam Ward driven for me.
Yeah.
He's a good player, fun story from Incarnate Word and all of that, but yeah, he's doing a heck of a lot for them. I do take issue with the whole Texas rule thing. I don't think you should lose to anybody and be bumped up in the top 25. So I'm not on board with these, but I understand your angle here. So I get it. But yeah, I wouldn't put Wazoo in the top 25.
All right, number 2, I'm going to make this easier for you guys. Syracuse, undefeated.
I'm with this one.
Yeah.
Undefeated, playing well. Beat the tar out of Louisville. Blew the doors off them. And Louisville's a team that is very middle of the pack. I get that. But if you look at the rest of the Louisville games, they're fighting and scratching tooth and nail with most everybody else. But Syracuse.
They're in the coaches poll.
Yeah. So, that's true. They are number 25 in the coaches poll. I was looking in the AP. But
that's okay.
Yeah,
Two different polls, media and coaches and SIDs.
Yeah, I don't trust the media. I'm going to start about
God.
Well, it was the media that voted Texas into the top 25 after their loss to Alabama. So, but no, they're off to a good start. Dino Babers looked like he was on a pretty hot seat there going in, but they've been able to Yeah, they've been able to really surprise a lot of people, and I don't think many people were expecting them to be kind of a talking point this year, but here they are. So good for the Orangemen.
Yeah, I don't trust the media and their pro thing. I don't like agenda.
Say it, what?
Their pro thing, I don't like agenda.
Oh, okay.
The media is pro things I don't like, so I don't like them.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's why people are mad.
There are some agendas, no question.
Yeah. But I don't know what those things are I don't like, but I know I don't like them, and I know that they do and I don't.
Syracuse, they have Wagner.
So they're going to be 5-0.
NC State in 2 weeks. 3 weeks, because there's an off week. They have an off week after that. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, they'll be
Clemson.
interesting.
We're about to find out about them.
Yeah. And number one.
The ACC has a bunch of teams ranked.
Yeah. The ACC is a very good average league.
Yeah.
They're good at being average. That's the thing that people don't, really realize about them, because if you're average, you just kind of blend in.
They have 22, 23, 24, 10, 5.
Yeah. What they really need is, 12, 10, 5, 3 to really be noticed. So,
and here we are.
Number one, Kansas. Most of the teams that are 4-0 don't have the resume that Kansas does right now of beating 3 Power 5 teams in a row, 2 of those on the road. To me, that's a team you can rank.
If you took their name out of the equation and you put them in another conference or two and had their resume, would they be ranked?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And if they were in a certain conference, they would be top 10 right now. And I don't have any problems arguing that with anybody. I saw a dumb response from Tennessee fans on TV ratings from this past weekend. Tennessee and Florida had the big 4 million or whatever it was rating, and good for them. That's all well and good. But I saw more than a handful of Vols fans laughing about or joking on those who thought that Kansas got a little bit screwed over as far as the weekend shows this past weekend. It's when are you going to go to Kansas again? Because the odds of them continuing to win are pretty slim. I'm betting them to lose this weekend, as a matter of fact. But while it's feel good, why not go visit Kansas? And their whole point was well, see, that game didn't even register on the national ratings, whereas they went to Tennessee because all the fans, and I get why, it's all the eyeballs, but that's not the argument. The argument wasn't who's going to get the most viewers. Yeah, if we do it that way, then it's going to be Tennessee versus pretty much anybody, even if they're not even winning games. But that wasn't the point.
They were App State 7 days before that. Did that game get a lot of eyeballs?
No, but look who we're dealing with there. But and I have nothing against Vol Guy, but I just felt like that was a really weak argument of just we have more. It's not better. It's not you got a real point to it other than just want to relive the 90s. But but I just think there's something unique to the Kansas angle, and both networks decided to not go that direction, and that's fine. They got the big audience and all of that, but that wasn't the argument for why Kansas deserved to have one of those spots.
About them having game day, if they would have, or what they're ranked, is you never know when they might get popped, and then they have to overcome being Kansas in football and a loss if that happens. And give them what they earn at that moment, not so much who you think is or should be ranked based on who they are as a logo. We our philosophy on that. Doesn't mean we're always right, but if you go by the number one ranked team in the country based on ratings, then Texas would be number 2 and Alabama would be number 1.
The Cowboys would have won 75 Super Bowls.